My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my second episode of Blast from the Past. And today we're going to talk about the 2008 movie Get Smart. Now, this was actually one of the very first movies I bought. I remember I bought it from a local video rental store, and it was also one of the first movies I watched that wasn't just geared towards kids and was kind of more geared towards adults. Like, it's no Basic Instinct or anything, but it's not as kid-friendly as the other movies I watched around that time. I remember just loving this movie and just laughing non-stop throughout. And does the movie hold up? I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. It's not a great movie, and it's definitely not as funny as I remember it being, but I think it's a perfectly fine, harmless comedy. It is kind of funny though, because now when I watch this movie and I see Steve Carell in a spy role, I just can't help but think that this is the prequel to Threat Level Midnight, starring Michael Scarn.
Michael, it's the president.
Hello, sir.
I need you for another mission.
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, yeah! Threat Level Midnight!
And it's also funny too because both Steve Carell and David Kochner's in here, so whenever I see those two characters talking, I just think Michael Scott and Todd Pass. It's also a little weird in this movie because Dwayne Johnson actually had hair, and I'm just like, what? He had hair once? It just catches me off guard. But yes, I guess Dwayne Johnson at some point, once upon a time, had hair. The cast in this movie is legitimately good. I love Steve Carell in the lead role. I don't think anyone else could have played this like he did. I like Anne Hathaway in this movie, even though I totally did not buy the romance between the two of them. Alan Arkin's in this movie, and well, he's great in everything he's in, and this is no exception. And Dwayne Johnson's also really good. Oh, I should also mention Patrick Warburton. The guy's in it for like 45 seconds, but it's a funny 45 seconds, so there's that. The movie does have these two side characters named Bruce and Lloyd, and I felt like the movie was kind of building them up to be the hilarious comedic side characters that you don't see often, but they stay with you. You know, like the Penguins of Madagascar or the Minions or whatever. And those characters just definitely did not have that effect. I never found them funny, and I found them to be very forgettable. And this is a very hit or miss comedy. For every joke I laugh at, the next one I'll be like, I'm not too sure about that. And I do think lots of that is dependent on the inconsistency of Max's character. Sometimes Max is surprisingly really smart and does something that's unexpected, but then it's followed up by something really stupid, and you're just like, oh, well, he's dumb. And sometimes it can be funny either or, but other times you're just like, what kind of character are you? Like, are you an actual good and smart spy? Are you like a Leslie Nielsen type in Police Squad? Like, what are you going for here? And the movie never really picks a lane, so it just goes between the two, and it definitely feels like his character is written in a very inconsistent manner. Like, there's a dance scene that I found to be really funny, or there's another scene where he has a zip tie around his two arms, and he's trying to blow this thing into it so then he can escape, and he keeps shooting himself in the ear, the nose, just everywhere. And there's another scene where he's about to blow a poisonous dart, and he's about to shoot it, and then he accidentally breathes it in and swallows it, and that stuff was really funny. But then we get stuff where he's peeking behind a curtain and all the beads fall to the ground, or where he's doing really well in a laser room, but then there's a rat that goes down his shirt, and it's just lazy cliche humor that doesn't really make me laugh. Lots of the humor definitely relies on the subversion of action cliches. You know, he's about to throw a grappling hook and he misses it, and it's supposed to be funny because we've seen spy movies where they would have gotten that, but Max is a bumbling idiot in this scene at least, and I'm not a fan of that kind of humor. It works well for a while, but then at a certain point it just becomes predictable. Like, I'm going to use Thor Ragnarok as an example because that movie subverts the expectations enough time to comedic purposes to the point where it became predictable. To the point where at the end, when Bruce Banner was jumping out of the ship about to turn into the Hawk, I'm just like, oh, he's not going to turn into the Hawk.
Be alright now, I got this. You wanted to know who I am?
He's just going to fall flat and it's going to be a joke. And that's exactly what happens. And that carries over into this movie because that is what happens. You watch it and you're like, oh, nope, he's not going to do a good job there. Yep, it happened just like I thought I would. And it's just very easy humor to go for. I actually kind of wish this movie relied more on the heart between the character, because by the end, I still don't really have a strong sense of who the character is. Like I said, he's majorly inconsistent, but there's a few scenes where him and Anne Hathaway, Agent 99, I want to say, are talking, and he's trying to get to know her more. But I feel like at the end, we don't really get to know him at all. And I just feel like there could have been potential for more heartfelt moments in that. I also don't like how in the end Anne Hathaway, who's been a badass the entire movie, suddenly becomes a damsel in distress because the movie calls for it all of a sudden. But that said, I do find the last act to be really entertaining. And okay, it's kind of funny because this movie came out in 2008. The movie Eagle Eye also came out in 2008. And when I was watching this movie last night, I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, these two movies are very similar, and, well, I'll let you be the judge. This is the ending of Get Smart, as a bomb's about to go off at an orchestra where the plan is to blow up the president. Okay, and now here's a clip of the ending of Eagle Eye where they're at an orchestra and there's a bomb that's about to go off that will kill the president. Same years, very similar endings. I can't help but notice that. It sounds like I'm being very negative on this movie, but I did enjoy it. There are enough funny moments, and it is consistently entertaining from start to finish. It might not have a great script. The characters might not be written in the best, most consistent manner. But if you just want to have a decent time for just under 2 hours, it's not a bad movie to throw on. So I'm going to go ahead and give Get Smart a 6.5 out of 10, and under, does it hold up? Yes. Yes, it does. Well, if you want to get smart, then go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe so you can see more of my videos. Stay tuned, and Gavin out.